You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
ASOTU CON 2024 is right around the corner. If you've not signed up yet, sign up now, or at least wait until right after this segment because I know you're going to want to hear this. In just about a month, many in the industry will be gathering in Baltimore for this convention. It's an important one. It's going to be all things automotive. Joining us now to give a sneak peek on what attendees can expect is Paul J Daly, the founder and CEO of ASOTU. I know that you know him. He is all over the place. Every conference, every seminar, NADA, you name it, these guys are there. He's got a phenomenal partner, and that's Kyle Mountsier, who's his partner and COO, who is not with us today, couldn't be with us. But nevertheless, Paul, thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to join us here at CBT News. We want the whole lowdown on what's going to be happening at ASOTU in just less than a month, right?
I know we're 34 days away as of filming today, but the time is going really quickly. Thanks for having me on today, and
Sure.
you know, Kyle, who can't be here. People can expect just a really in-depth community experience in automotive from across the disciplines of the industry: fixed ops, sales, service, M&A, admin,
something for everyone
culture,
in the family, as
leadership.
They say. Yeah,
it really is, because we have such a holistic industry.
Yeah.
It really, you cannot build, we see what happens when you try to build one vertical within the dealership.
Right.
It just doesn't work. It has to work together.
That's right.
It has to be in partnership with the community.
Sure.
It has to be in partnership with your team and your consumers. So ASOTU CON brings all those things together for what I think is the most unique experience in automotive.
Yeah. And it's your third one, right? I mean, this is something that you guys have got down now. I mean, you know how to run these things.
I don't know that I feel like we've got it like down pat, but it is our third year. So there is so much so much of the blocking and tackling that we didn't have to focus on this year. So that we could just redouble our efforts into experience and content and event production. We have a beautiful facility. It's like a major concert venue mixed with a trade show floor, mixed with a hotel with a lot of great restaurants, and it's all kind of enclosed. So like people don't wander other places. Everyone stays together, which is a pretty unique thing too.
Your venues have been like no others in the industry, I think. I mean, it's really first class. I mean, the jumbotrons that you guys have and all that you've done. I mean, you've really kind of taken that outside the box, if you will, as it relates to conferences, because so many of them are, as you know, it's a hotel room and then it's breakout sessions, and every single room looks the same and there's not a lot of excitement going on. But yours looks like kind of like part rock concert and part, spiritual revival. And then, we're going to talk to you about how to drive more sales in your dealership, which is pretty cool.
Well, we have tried to take cues from other events outside of automotive. I go to events that aren't automotive, like VCon, South by Southwest.
There you go.
And when you go into a place or a space, the way it looks and the way it feels changes the way you feel and what your expectations are.
I agree.
And so we found that when we do it this way, people are open and receptive to go through the shared experience together.
Yeah.
And what happens then is they talk more with one another.
Right.
They sometimes you go to conferences and it feels like a shooting gallery, so everyone's got their body armor on, right? This is a place where like people take the body armor off and have some real meaningful conversations about operations and best practices. And in the end, if that doesn't translate to actual change in the stores and on the front lines, then we're doing it wrong. So for us, it's like this curated experience where we're always saying like, hey, if this doesn't change something on the back end, then it doesn't matter anyway.
That's great. That's great. And as you know, the workshops can be great, and they are, and the presentations can be great on the main stage. But really, in so many cases, when you talk to people that attend these conferences, including myself, the networking is priceless. You'll go to an event like this and sit down and have a beer with somebody that you've been trying to talk to or network with for years, and lo and behold, here they are, and you've got an hour of their time. And so that can't be underestimated either, right?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think all of us, as we think back to that one introduction or relationship that we made at an event, and how all of a sudden that gave us a phone a friend, right? Or unlock something for us that made meaningful change. That's exactly the power of being together, right? You can't have a Zoom call that does that. You can't have a social post that does that. You have to be together. And like our speaker list, we have 60 plus speakers, and a lot of these folks I say are the people you see on TV, right? And the TV for me is like LinkedIn, Facebook, all these names and dealers and people in automotive. that you hear and see from, you're actually going to get to be with them in person. And we know what happens when you get to be with people in person.
No question about it. And love people more than you love cars. So you've got that concept going on, which is pretty cool because of the fact that this is an industry where you've got so many great individuals as part of it, that events like this really do have an impact. And especially for the newcomers, well, as well as the people that have been in it for a long time. But some of the newcomers that are in the industry that go to an event like yours come out going, wow, I picked a really great industry to be in, because they get a feel for what it's really all about and what the people are like that make up the industry, right?
Absolutely. This love people more than you love cars came from one of ASOTU's investors, Liza Myers-Borges, who is the president CEO of Carter Myers Automotive. And we said, we're putting that on a shirt. We're making that a center point. And it reminded me of the very first ASOTU event that ever happened. It was a meetup at a digital dealer. The first event that opened up out of COVID. We had a meetup, and Brian Benstock, we gave him the microphone, which is always a dangerous proposition, but we're doing it again this year.
He's still talking now on it.
Absolutely. He took it home with him. He's gonna do a keynote at ASOTU CON this year. But at this event, he had the microphone and he said, in this industry, we have the opportunity to help a lot of people. And then he paused and everyone's like, yeah, that's right. He goes, and the thing is, when you help a lot of people, and then he leans in, he goes, you make a lot of money.
That's right.
He yells into the microphone. But that really is the truth of the industry. That
it is. Helping
people is a core principle to actual business results that stand the test of time and aren't, don't have an inventory requirement or a stair-step program requirement. When you help people and genuinely focus on people first, the staying power of your business grows exponentially.
No question about it. And you and Kyle have been great supporters and advocates of the industry that we're in. Obviously, it's a business that gets the heck beat out of it constantly from consumers and from people that are from the outside looking into the industry. We have a pretty bad rap out there, unfortunately. We kind of gave it to ourselves over the course of the last 100 years, but so it's deserved in some areas. But I will tell you that the industry, and I know that you agree, it has changed substantially over the course of the last 10 years in the way that we deal with our consumers and our customers and our friends and family, and the way that dealers look at their employees and their associates as more like family than just maybe a number or what have you. So things have changed in the industry. We're heading in the right direction. We're not there yet by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's great that you guys do what you do to help that process along. And
somebody's got to tell the stories.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a bad experience, you're telling 10 people. If you have a great experience, you might tell one.
That's right.
And so we're trying to move all those one stories that we know exist to the front, right? Because they need to be amplified, because you and I both know, yes, there are some bad actors still out there. Yes, we did enough to earn the stigma that we have, but we also know that that is not the truth in the majority of stores.
That's right.
Across. So we want to move the best players to the front and inspire everyone to be that.
There's no question. So before I let you get out of here, and I appreciate all the time, talk to us about the lineup of speakers. Who's going to be there? Because you always have a world-class group of great speakers.
Yeah, so like I said, we have over 60 plus speakers, the majority of which are dealers or dealer employees.
Okay.
This year we have a lot of ATA or state association representation. We're having a panel with several state association presidents on there. Mike Stanton from NADA will be there. But then on the dealer side, we're featuring some of the best operators. Everyone from Mike Kavanaugh, who's a regional vice president with Lithia, through Patrick Abad, amazing single point store, one of the most well-run dealerships I've ever seen.
Huge volume.
We have small groups, mid-sized groups. Ed Roberts on fixed ops. Liza's going to be with us, which is going to be amazing. Erica Tiffany Wells from Walzer. So it's really a grab bag of people who are just doing an excellent job in areas all across the stores.
And then you always have kind of a celebrity type speaker, right? Do you have one of those again?
We do this year. Yeah, last year we had Jesse Cole, Savannah Bananas. This year we have the New York Times bestselling author Will Guidara. He wrote a book called Unreasonable Hospitality.
If you haven't got that book, folks, that you're listening to this conversation, get the book. My wife and I read the book, and we keep quoting from it, and it's just a phenomenal book. That's all I'll say, but I would highly suggest you get it. But more importantly, that alone, to go see his presentation, would be worth the price of admission, and of course, you get 59 other speakers.
I think so. He's going to be with us. He's going to be our closing keynote on night 2, and he's going to stick around for a while. We were able to spend a little time with him a couple weeks ago in New York City, and let me just tell you, He is the real deal. He is not going to disappoint. And I think he's going to make us a substantive change within our industry. I think his principles are going to become commonplace in the next 5 years.
That is fantastic. Congratulations in landing him. I know how hard it is to get great speakers like that.
Sure.
So that's great. Any news coming out of ASOTU that you want to bring us up to speed on? I mean, you guys are always up to something.
Yeah, so I think the real news is the same news. ASOTU CON is coming in 30 days.
Sure.
So make sure you go. Hotel is just about booked out, so we're filling up really, really quickly. But we just released our third episode of our docu-series, More Than Cars, which is also something that we're doing to get dealers and the best stories to the front. And then, it's startup automotive life, so we're just grinding every day trying to bring people the most value
more of
we
the
can.
same, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah. So for those of you that haven't done that already, make sure that you sign up for their newsletter. They've got an incredible newsletter that they send out every day. It's all the information that you need, other than the CBT newsletter, but it's all the information that you need to run your dealerships better. And they really do a great job of making it very concise and to the point and giving you the information that you need. So done a great job. Congratulations on all your success,
Jim, we're just following the leader. And I've told you many times, how impactful your work has been on my career and my perspective.
I appreciate that comment, but you didn't have to do that. That was very nice.
I mean it.
But
I mean
no, I'm a fan. I love what you guys are doing, and I think that you're doing such great work for the industry. So congratulations on setting this third one up. I know it's going to be a barn burner. We're going to try to make it out there if we can. Can't promise it now. Hopefully, for those of you that go out there, I know you're going to have a great time. Sign up now. Just do it right now. It's 30 days away, which, as we all know, is right around the corner. When you say 30 days now, Paul, maybe I'm getting older. It seems like it's tomorrow when somebody says that.
I know, well, no, that's, dealers, we think in 30-day cycles. And once it's 30 days out, it's actually happening.
That's right.
40 days out, we'll see.
And it's 0 to 0. It's like, I had an incredible, March. Yeah, that means nothing today, pal. It's April. It's like, what are you doing for me right now? How many you got out?
That's a history lesson.
I love it. All right, well, Paul J Daly, thank you so much for joining me on the show. I really appreciate it. We'll show all the information on the screen here as to how you folks can sign up for it, but it's one of those conferences that you should go to in the industry. So you heard it here. So thanks so much.
Thanks for having us, Jim.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.